Whenever I'm talking to somebody about backpacking or photography, they usually bring up what camera and what lens do I actually bring with me. And today I'll be answering that question.
Waiting for whatever.
It's actually kind of a weird mix of a Canon lens and a Sony camera, partly because I just switched to Sony, but also because I really love the Canon glass and it gets some really sharp images. The camera body that I bring with me is the Sony a7R III. It has super fast autofocus, and at the same time it has a really high megapixel count, so it's really good for prints or cropping in on an image. The lens that I usually bring with me is the Canon 17-40 f4. It's super sharp, and it's also not as heavy as a 16-35 2.8 or maybe a longer zoom lens. The next thing I have to bring is a lens adapter. This one is off of Amazon. It's the cheapest one with autofocus, and I think it works pretty well. For landscape photography, you don't need the fastest autofocus, but it's reliable and it's worked really well for me. The next thing I bring is a Peak Designs camera clip. This works really well, and I usually keep my camera on my backpack, but sometimes I'll put it inside the backpack just so it doesn't flop around while I'm hiking. The next thing I bring is this pretty small tripod. It's Ultrapod 2, and I do enjoy it. I don't use it too much, but it's really nice to have when I want to do star photography or maybe make the water smooth on a long exposure. And the last thing I always bring with me is a microfiber cloth, just in case I get some dirt on my lens or I need to clean off any part of my camera. If you're interested in what everything weighs together, it's actually pretty light. It's only 3 pounds, 3 ounces. My old camera body and lens together was 4 pounds and 6 ounces, and I really couldn't stand carrying that around all day. It added a lot to my pack, but it also hurt my shoulder hanging on that Peak Designs clip. So I'm really glad I switched to this Sony body. It's a lot lighter and also a big upgrade. If you have any questions about the rest of my gear or maybe other things that I take backpacking, you can ask me down in the comments below. And I also have a YouTube video on everything that I bring backpacking inside my backpack. So I'll link that up here, and I'll also link it down in the comments. So feel free to go check that out, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.